So I speak this word on behalf of us all, as I know that today is a day of good. This moment is a moment of good. And this service, this celebration, which we are about to engage in, is an idea in the mind of spirit to which we are drawn, which has attracted us. So therefore it holds something wonderful for us that is unfolding right now as we sit here together in this room, as we let go of the things that may have happened in our past week or month or even this morning, as we just let go of that and become centered in the here and now and know that right here and now, this is the perfect place to be, the place where we can regroup, recenter, renew, and nourish and be nourished by the fellowship, the friendship, and the inspiration and teachings that we are engaged in. So I give thanks. I give thanks for all the good now unfolding in the lives of each and every one of us. I give thanks for all the good now unfolding in the center itself. I know that each of us is a light in the world, and our light shines forth. And I know that there is good for us, and there is good for everyone with whom we are connected. This is a world of good, and I accept it on behalf of each and every one of us, each and every one of the people that we love, and the people that they love, and the people in this planet, the earth itself, all life forms. This is a place where we know the truth, that there is a power for good, and we can use it. I know it is so, I declare it is so, and I turn it over to Spirit itself, knowing it is done. I invite you to say with me, and so it is. Thank you. So at this time, I'd like to sing a little song. No, I'll skip that. We'll wait patiently for Richard and be glad to see him. So anyway, it's just my pleasure to welcome everyone to the Center for Spiritual Living Carlsbad. And we really do believe that there's a power for good in the universe and that we can use it. And you know, what we do here is we come together to teach, demonstrate, and inspire a positive spiritual approach to living. So right now, I would like to invite Linda up to help us with our candle lighting. And when we light these candles, all we're doing is using the candles to symbolize and remind ourselves of the undying spirit underlying, well, I guess it's undying too, spirit of life and the unity of all. So first, we light a candle for life. Life is everywhere present, flowing through each and every one of us. There is only one life. That life is God's life, and that life is my life now. So please know with me, I am light. We light a candle for love. The birth of love happens within each one of us every time we make room for the Christ consciousness in our hearts and in our lives. We are transformed. We are a point of love within the heart of God. Please know with me, I am love. We light a candle for light. The light of God is the presence and power. We are always walking in the light. We radiate the light of God wherever we are. Please know with me, I am light. We light a candle for beauty. We are made in the likeness and image of God. We are each whole, complete, perfect, and beautiful just as we are. We accept the beauty of God's perfection in us now. So please know with me, I am beauty. We light the candle for joy. Joy is the very nature of spirit and the true essence of each of us. We celebrate the joy of our own rebirth in the God consciousness. Please know with me, I am joy. We light the candle for peace. Today and every day, we open our hearts to peace. We are each a center of peace for our world. Please know with me, I am peace. And finally, I invite you to join me in taking a moment to recognize our own inner light that is always shining within us as we honor our own metaphysical path of wholeness, oneness, and mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. Thank you, Linda. Thank you, everyone. Well, if this is your first visit to our center, or if you haven't been here for a while, or you've moved, or anything, we want to welcome you and invite you to sign our guest book. I'm not sure if the guest book is here today. If it's not, please give your email and phone number to Jan, who will be at the bookstore, so that we can sign you up for our weekly email that we send out every end of the week. Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. And be sure to stay for fellowship after the service. Spiritual mind treatment is our word for affirmative prayer, and it is our gift to everyone on Sundays. So if you have a prayer request today, you can either speak to one of us after the service. So who is the us that's here today? So we have practitioner Robert and Larry. We have Reverend Dr. Maddie, Reverend Dr. Lori, and Reverend Maureen and myself. We're all available if you would like to speak to one of us privately during fellowship. The other thing you can do is fill out a request form, which is in the lobby, put it in the box, and then we will silently do treatment for you during the week. If you look inside your program, does everyone have a program? If you look inside your program, you'll see most of the announcements, but I just want to make sure you see that today, Reverend Maureen is hosting the first Spiritual Tools for Living workshop. It's going to be about 11:20 after fellowship, right in this room. Everyone is welcome. There's no particular charge. You can make a free will offering if you'd like. And everyone is invited. There's a flyer. I'll let her talk more, of course, about what she's going to be doing today. But I know from her attending her previous workshops that it'll be fun. And there'll be a lot of engagement and back and forth. That's the way she does it. The other important thing that I want to be sure and say is thank you to all of our volunteers. Now you may have noticed, all of these beautiful flowers. So yesterday, some of our volunteers, and this was, where's Ruth Ann? There, this was, Ruth Ann hosted Learn How to Do Flower Arranging workshop at her house. And we really had fun, and she and Pat Zagwin made it so easy to do it, and then she even cleaned up afterwards. Thank you. But it was really nice. It was so organized, and it was a lot of fun. And so our volunteer committee is fun, and it's what makes this center really go. We're a small community center, And it really takes a team to get it going. So today I want to just thank all the volunteers for the flowers, because we have so many. I want to thank Robert for being our greeter this morning. I'd like to thank Morgan and Martha for bringing our treats today. And of course, I'd like to thank Practitioner Larry for the video recording. And I want to thank Jan and Angela for all they do to get us set up and organized. So, if you would like to volunteer, there's a sign-up sheet in the lobby. If you'd like to get added to the volunteer team, please speak to Reverend Maurene. Now, if you would find your program, open it up, and find the group reading. And read with me. God is all, both visible and invisible. One presence, one mind, one power is all. This one that is all is perfect love and perfect abundance. I am an individualized expression of God. I am ever one with His perfect life, perfect love, and perfect abundance. So now I'd like to invite.
Patty's sick. Volunteer.
Oh, do you have a reading?
Yes.
Oh, who likes to just stand up and sight read? Yay! I'd like to invite Morgan up to give us our inspirational reading.
Our reading for today is from the Science of Mind text by Ernest Holmes, pages 434 and 435. Everything our thought rests upon is either retarded or quickened by the power of that thought. Everyone is a law unto himself under the great law of cause and effect governing all things. When we constructively praise and creatively bless, life abounds with love, peace, and joy. Let goodness shine forth. Let us learn to see that everyone is an evolving Christ. Let us so live and think that we may retire at night in peace, knowing that no harm can come to the soul, that we may rise in the morning renewed in body and in mind, with a brighter outlook, a happier expectation, and a blessing even those who seek to injure us. Let us learn to be perfect, even as that divine being residing in the heart of all and overshadowing eternity must also be perfect. And so it is.
So it is. So it is.
Well, are you ready? Did you want to sing a song? No, you don't have to. I know Reverend Maurene can actually play piano too, but yeah. I have skeptical looks in the audience here. But no, that's not what we're doing. What we're doing right now is I am asking you to help me welcome Reverend Maurene up to the stage for her message of the day.
Thank you. Hope you can hear me. Well, good morning. Good morning. And I'm glad you braved a little drizzle. Good thing you're not from Portland, Oregon. But it's just great to see everyone, and it's especially great to see these beautiful flowers. I mean, you realize, whoops, getting a little feedback. You realize, we're gonna turn it down. The beauty that's in all of these flowers, you know, they represent different people, and different people have different sense of the divine. So, woo, hello, hello. Okay, sounds better. Thank you. Thanks, Angel, Angel. So this month, Kate and I have been talking about the first 4 chapters of Religious Science book, sort of traditional, that you go back to basics. And we were doing the thing itself, the way it works, the big I, the big T, it, what it does and how to use it. And we always say there is a power for good greater than we are, but we can use it. And so how do we put these principles into action? How do we use this power, the power of the mind of the one? So today I'm starting a 5-week workshop right after service, and we're going to be talking about some additional spiritual tools, metaphysical tools that you can use. Most of us know about prayer treatment because I think most of you have had a practitioner or a minister do a treatment for you, spiritual mind treatment. Most of you have done meditation. A lot of you do affirmations. These are kind of the backbone of our practice, but we also have some other tools that I want to talk to you about. And those tools are grieving. It's a special tool. And I call it kind of bringing the flashlight, the spiritual flashlight, to something going on in your life. So bring it to the light. The second tool I want to talk about is blessings and gratitude. And it's kind of like, I don't know if some of you have used confectioner's sugar, you know, and have the sprinkle can, and you sprinkle the sugar on your cake, sprinkle it on your cookies. And that's what the second blessings and gratitude, that second tool. The third tool I want to introduce to you is love. I don't know how many of you may have a Swiss Army knife, or one of those leather, what do they call them? Leatherman multi-tool. That's what love is. Love is the multi-tool. And forgiveness is unblocking any kind of obstacle to the flow of love in your life. And I hope you can join me for all the sessions. What I've done, I've created a metaphor for these tools based on my own experience with my father and my brother, who were carpenters and contractors, and they like to build homes and businesses. And I realized we are building our lives. Day to day, we build our lives. We create. That is the basis of these teaching, is our creativity, our use of the creative mind. So it's time to be responsible for your life and build something better. I think we can all build something better. We may want more. And my brother's not to be, what should I say? To be kind to my brother and father. I still have a joke. Sorry guys. But when I lived in Hawaii, we often had termites and we often had carpenter ants. Now, do you know how to tell if you have carpenter ants? You look at the job site and you see these little tiny beer cans. Sorry, Dad. You know, I never wanted to believe that my friend, a road worker, was stealing from his job. But when I got to his house, all the signs were there. Okay. So I just want to say, why do you need additional tools in your toolkit? Why do you need something else? Well, sometimes we get stuck, and even if we do prayer treatment, we have a practitioner, a minister treat for us, sit with us, we still get stuck in these loops. I get these negative loops. I call it awfulizing. and awful this, awful that. And it's like, stop it. You know, how do you stop that kind of thinking? I also, I get into beating myself up, or I do something and then I say, oh, I shoulda, coulda, woulda. You know that one? Shoulda, coulda, woulda. I could have done this. I should have done this. Oh, if only I would have done that. You know, it's time. It's like years ago, I got fired from one of my first jobs. The boss caught me reading the newspaper. It's like, but when you're young, it's a big deal. But I realized I was better off without that job. It really gave me the impetus to do something else. And working with stress, you know, we may need some other tools for working with stress. And like, do you ever do that? Well, I should have done this and I wouldn't have gotten divorced. Oh, I should have done that and I would not have lost my job. Oh, I should have, whatever. So our first tool, though, I want to discuss and have the workshop about today is grieving. Grieving is important, whether you lost a tooth, yes. You lost a job, yes. You lost a relationship, yes. Or you lost a friend who died like during the pandemic. I think many of us had friends that we lost during this time. And maybe you have not completely grieved. You haven't felt the sorrow of that. And I think it's very important to shine a light on that loss, because, you know, we don't like change. We like to hold on to things in life. And life is not that way. If you look at life, well, you look at these flowers. I mean, you look at a rose bud one day, and then a couple days later, it has blossomed into a full, beautiful rose, and then a few days later, you know, it's done. And it's the cycle. That's the cycle of nature. And we're part of that life cycle. And we lose friends for different reasons. We lose relationships. So, and it's important to each loss. You know, it may not be a loss to one person, but it's a loss to another person. And I have a quote here. This is a quote from Mark Twain, and he says, "Nothing that grieves us can be called little by the external laws of proportion. A child's loss of a doll and a king's loss of a crown are events of the same size." You know, I had a doll, and I still to this day remember my older brother and his friends broke the doll. Mm-hmm. And I grieved for that. I still grieve for that doll. You know, but we're all different. We're all different. We all have our sensitivities. So do you grieve, or do you blame somebody else? Oh, it was his fault. He left the marriage before I did. Or no, it was her fault, you know, or it was HR's fault because they didn't see how important I was to the company and they let me go. You know, I had a job for 20 years and got laid off. But there were like 800 other people too, because the corporation sort of imploded and went bankrupt. And that's a very tough thing because I had not really looked for another job in 20 years, and to have to go out and really search. I grieved that job for a long time. And I was in denial for a while. I was angry for a while. I blamed other people. But at the end, I stopped. I breathed. I looked at it and said, here's an opportunity, go for it. And I went to work for a high-tech company, which was really fascinating, really interesting. And then I ended up having some other jobs that really took me to a greater place. So I bless them. And these tools that I'm talking about, like grieving, the blessing, all these tools are not exclusive. They work together. So when you get to that point of really grieving something, you can bless it and you can move on. Ernest Holmes, our founder, he says, it's not easy to release our troubles. We're prone to linger with them. God is perfect life, and when we enter his light, we are healed. So let's do some entering the light after service. Shine your light on your troubles. The second tool is gratitude. And you all know the great attitude, gratitude. But I think of it, again, as this shaker of confectionery sugar. I just put it on things and sweeten it up. Also, giving gratitude is part of the law of circulation. You give from yourself. You bless something, and it comes back to you. That goodness comes back to you. Every event in your life is a little shaker of a powdering of good. Instead of something being me, direct your words outward. Promote the law of circulation. Ralph Waldo Emerson, the American statesman, said, "Write it on your heart that every day is the best day in the year." So give gratitude in all things. The third tool is love. Now, again, I mentioned that earlier. Well, love to me is like being wrapped in a cocoon, a fuzzy blanket, and it just feels so wonderful. I feel safe and I feel joy. And I say love and its children. Love has many children: happiness, joy, compassion. These are all sort of children of joy. And Ernest Holmes defines love as self-givingness of spirit through creation, the impartation of the divine through the human. And he says love reigns supreme over all. So it's a self-givingness. Love is giving. God, spirit, source is giving constantly, giving love to you. You just have to open up and say, yes, I accept. I am a conduit of love. I express love, I give love, I'm lovable, and I'm loving. But love is, I think of love as this ever-ready bunny. You remember the ever-ready bunny? It never stops giving. And just like your Swiss knife or your Leatherman multi-tool, that tool, just if you can use it on anything and everything. Love is always the answer. If somebody asks you to do something or ask your opinion, use love. Use your multi-tool. It works in every situation. Just craft your response based on love. I'm going to talk more about love right before Valentine's Day in March 12th. And the fourth tool is forgiveness. Now, we've talked about forgiveness before, how important it is. Again, it's this releasing from yourself and giving forgiving. Now, the master teacher told us not 7 times, but 7 times 70. You have to do it all the time. And most of it is directed at yourself. I forgive me. I forgive myself. I love myself. And it's really interesting. I have a story. What happened, this was, I think it was about 4 years ago. Robert and I were in Mexico, and we went to the Convention of the Americas down near Guadalajara, a little town called Chapala on this beautiful lake. It's just a gorgeous place. And the CSL workshop that I was in, I think it was David Bruner. He's a minister from, I think, San Jose. And he gave a workshop on forgiveness, and we were doing forgiveness work, which we will do in here. And I felt this shift. I felt the shift, really physical, in my body. And then my phone rang, and we had just ended the session, so I went outside to answer the phone, and it was my older brother, who I had not spoken to for a long time, many years. And I had just done the work on forgiving my brother and forgiving myself. I was like, what? I mean, that's instant manifestation. And he was so excited. He said, I can't believe it. I have 3 grandchildren. I said, yes, you do. And he goes, and one of them's in college. I said, yeah. He didn't want to have anything to do with his daughter for years, and so I kind of stepped in to be the aunt. And he was so excited. We did that. And he established and still has a relationship with all of them. And we've established a new relationship between ourselves, my brother and myself. And all because, really, forgiveness workshop. It was amazing, and it can do wonders. But I think of it as my tool. It's kind of like, removing nails, but also rotor-rooter, unclogging the drain to allow things to flow. And that's why I love forgiveness. Ernest Holmes said, when we learn to put away our petty virtues with our petty vices, then we shall see clearly. Not what either virtue or vice is, but what truth is. The biggest life is the one who includes the most. To him who loves much, much is forgiven. So the last tool that I'm going to talk about is embracing the mystery. And this is embracing the life within, the light and the life and the love within. And this is, I think of it as taking out my canoe into the middle of the river and just letting go. And let the river take me where it will. Smiling at the people on the shore, waving, talking to other boaters, but just being in the flow, in the movement of life and enjoying it. But the tool itself that helps me look at life as a mystery, I think of as glasses, special glasses. I put on glasses and I could see the divinity in everybody. I put on these glasses and I see, oh, there's God in an amazing disguise. Oh, there's God in an amazing disguise. It's a special way of seeing our unity, that we're all one with the one. We're all special. We're all divine. So those are what I call the enlightened glasses. And part of embracing the mystery is being open. Open to something greater than you are. You cannot even imagine some things that unfold in your life. You just have to be open for it. You have to be willing, and you have to see the unity in all things. Unity is the kind of that special word here. We're one. We're one with it. We're one with everybody else. We're one with these beautiful flowers up here. We're one with the rain. We're all part of this great thing, which God is. God is life. And you are it. Ernest Holmes said, illumination will come as mankind more and more realizes its unity with the whole, and as we constantly endeavor to let the truth operate through us. So embrace the mystery. And Thich Nhat Hanh, who died about a year ago, said, walk as if you're kissing the earth with your feet. So, just in closing, create your own toolbox. Get, more than affirmations, more than prayers, more than meditation. Work on some of these other tools, and I welcome you to come to the workshops for the next 5 Sundays. Love to see you all. And again, shine the light on the lost in your life. Sprinkle the good on every situation. Get that multi-tool called love and use it for everything. Remove any blockage. Create your own rotor-rooter. Remove the blockage to this flow and to this love. And then finally, great glasses. We can call them our multicolored glasses, a new look at life. And know that you are it. Thank you, thank you. Any other songs?
I have about 20 songs. Is this on?
I'll turn this off. Okay, is that one on?
No.
No, not yet. Is there a switch on the phone?
Got a push button on the side.
Oh, it's on.
Better late than never.
So we have Richard James, Better Late Than Never.
It's live. I think they can hear me down the block with this mic. So anyway, another child of love is peace. You know, I wrote a song called Inner Peace. Actually, I have two sets of lyrics for this music, but I'll play it through once and then I'll sing it. Come in peace, go in peace, through the word gain release. Destiny sets us free in peace. Satisfied true desire, connecting to the inner fire. Share the word and ensure inner peace. Wisdom comes to us as we gain, so we trust. As we give, so must we receive. Where is it written that we'll always fight? As we learn to love, we'll do what is right. Gaining poise, real concern. Shedding noise, we discern. Share the word as we learn. With such ease. Come in peace, go in peace. Through the word gain release. Breathlessly guarantees inner peace. Destiny sets us free. Inner peace. Thank you.
Do you have a song we can stand and sing?
How about this great, let's see, this great light of mine? Anybody know that song? Yeah. Never heard it.
Let's stand.
Put some energy This great light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This great light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, this great light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. When I go to work, I'm gonna let it shine. When I go to work, I'm gonna let it shine. When I go to work, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. When I go to bed, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, when I go to bed, I'm gonna let it shine. When I go to play, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Oh, this great light of mine, one more time. I'm gonna let it shine. This great light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This great light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Do you have a note? Do you know Imagine?
The John Lennon song? I don't have it with me.
Well, feel free to play whatever else.
Okay, let me see here.
We also have one right at the back. You may remember the one we sing as a group. It's called We Can't Stop Love.
Yeah, that's a little later. Do that.
Okay.
Do you want to do that now? Or-
No, you can play something. Got another one?
I know this from OHON. This particular song, we used to do this a lot. It's called In This Very Room. Anybody know this song? Yeah.
Yes.
We can sing along.
You can sing along. Oh, in this very room, there's quite enough love for all. In this very room, there's quite enough joy for all. And there's quite enough peace, quite enough power to walk through every fear. For spirit, one spirit is in this very room. In this very room is in this very room. Such a beautiful song.
It is. We're gonna use
You said you had yeah, you get your money's
Why don't
absolutely.
we do our, right now, we'll take a little break and just do our offering,
Okay, we'll do
and then we'll do
I'm so blessed.
I Am So Blessed.
Okay, after the offering is taken or
During it,
during? Okay.
this is our, can you hear me? This is our time for giving. Oops. And we have several ways, we have several methods for giving. And we use online giving, we have checks, credit cards, and we just want to take a moment and give gratitude. So let's just close our eyes and just know with me the power of giving. As we give, so do we receive. I like to take my gift and put it on my heart and give great gratitude, knowing that Spirit in me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I circulate. I know it is so, and so it is.
So it is.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so
Thank you. And we're going to have a closing prayer.
1, 2.
All right.
Dangerous to give a minister a mic. I have to tell you something. You were talking about the mystery of life, and then we had recently did the Power of 8, and we raised enough money for 2 wells in India. And I haven't told anybody this, and I'm so excited to tell somebody, and I have to tell you because you're the one that donated the wells that went to India. A year ago when my mother had passed away, my intention was for 10 wells, and that would have been at the end of February, and I've got 18 wells built and 5 more in the pipeline. Same child went to India, and they were sending me videos right and left, and they went to Odisha, India, and on the well it says, "My cup overflows with gratitude." And they had huge parade, thousands of people from the tribes. I don't know thousands, but hundreds of people from the tribes. Parades, they were giving them garlands. They had all the tribal heads there. I mean, it was a huge celebration. And then they went, I have videos when they went over to your well and other wells, and they're using the water to build gardens. To do their own food. And instead of walking an hour a day to find dirty water to drink and to protect themselves from really lions and bears, can you imagine having to do that? Because that will attack them. So they actually can spend time in their community because the water is right there. And I can't imagine that their diet is red ants, rats, and wild pig. I mean, that's kind of what they eat because they're so poor. But the wells that you have donated to them has blessed their lives tremendously. So I just want to say thank you so much.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm so grateful. Yeah. Could you play us some pretty music while I pray? I love the music coming in when I pray. It just feels so divine. I love that first song that you sang that you played about peace in the heart. Yeah. So I invite everyone to close your eyes and go within as I feel and sense the beauty of God that is expressing itself everywhere in its fullest. The eternal loving essence of God that is good, that is great, that is right here and right now. That essence that we live in the mystery of life, not knowing how it's going to unfold because it's not our life, it's the life of God, expressing itself perfectly and wholly. And I am just grateful that I am one with this life. I am all that God is. I am the body temple, the wholeness of the divine. I live, I move, and I have my beingness in the divine spirit. And as I know that for myself, I know that for each and every person here, that we are all one, that we are all interconnected. We are all the essence of love and light. And I'm grateful for the message today that Reverend Maurene prepared, knowing that we are the body temple and that we have all these divine tools to continue to recognize God as our life. That is our quest, to continue to know God as our life, that we are one with the whole, and that we are one with each other. Each and every person is my brother and my sister, no matter where they live. And so we know that there's a time in our life where we have grievance because loss comes and loss goes. Whether we lose a family member and how sad that is, a loved one, when we lose a job, when we lose something that we created that was so magnificent, we know that God is always creating greater and better and newer. And so I am grateful for this divine knowing. And I'm grateful for this divine community, for the power and the creativity as we come together as one, knowing that each and every person is blessed by the divine light of Spirit. And I release my word into the law, knowing that it is good and it is done, and so it is.
And so it is. Now, if you'd like to, please rise and we'll sing the closing song on the back of your program.
Open your heart, let your love flow free out over the ocean, right across the stream. Let it flow like a river, let it fly like a dove, till your heart remembers you can't stop love. Get it started, watch what's done. It'll come full circle. You can't stop love. Open your heart. Let your love go free. Out over the ocean, right across the street. Let it flow like a river, let it fly like a dove, till your heart remembers you can't stop love. Once you get it started, watch what you've done. It'll go full circle.